Greetings again. This is George Blake W6BDD in Olathe, Kansas. And I thought I'd give you another update. This time on the Collins. It's gotten cold outside. It was 29 last night. So I decided maybe it was time to put the beam away for a while. And I'll finish it in the spring. I've gotten to the point all the elements are cleaned up and the traps are redone and they all have caps on them, and I have them on a sawhorse and got them covered for the winter. Got all the mechanical couplings to the boom. Those are all cleaned up. All the bolts are off. So just a matter of getting new bolts and bolting everything together and giving it a try. The last thing on the boom was the balun. So this is the original balun. It's a voltage balun. It's 3 chokes in one on a ferrite slug, and real nice connections going out. RF connector coming in. But a friend of mine said, "Well, you know, those really didn't hold up to high power that well." And I thought, well, okay. So doing some investigation, everybody likes a current balun. So this is a, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, Garinello, I'm not sure, but it's a 1-to-1 current balun. And you'll see these DX Engineering sells a version and other people sell a version. A lot of them just had coax, and I don't like that, because I know from magnetics that the best thing you can do is couple the wire as closely to the form as possible. So if you're using a regular transformer, you want to try to wind it like right on the form, as flat as possible. And on a toroid, the same thing. Large voltage transformers, 3-phase transformers, if you've ever seen one, they use flat wire. And the reason they use flat wire is so that they get rid of the space between the wires, and they can also form it flat onto the E-core. And then as they layer it, of course, they put that wax paper, whatever they put on there, to get the coupling and the space as small as possible, and that reduces eddy currents and does other things. So I'm using 14 gauge copper wire. Thank you, Bob Heil. At the auction site I work for, David Schulman Auction, high bid. Dave is handling part of Bob Heil's estate. So he's got a lot of stuff in there, and there were a bunch of kind of junk boxes, if you will, knick-knack boxes. And Dave hadn't gone through it yet, so I said, "Do you mind if I look?" And he goes, "Sure, go ahead." So I was looking for some 14 or 16 gauge enamel copper wire, and lo and behold, there was a spool of it wound up inside a box. And so he said, "Take it." I said, "Okay." So there's the copper wire. Again, thank you, Bob Heil. And so that's done and ready to go. I have a box for it to go into. So the balun is ready for the spring as well. So that'll replace this, which was the original HyGain balun. So in the meantime, I've decided to go back to my Collins and finish it up. So where am I at? If you watch my videos from before, where I was last at was I had the power supply done. So the new stack, capacitor rectifier stack, is installed. And on the back side, I have Oh, get up here. Turn this around so you can see it. And so the back side has the relays, the soft start board, all the terminal strips. They're all ready. It's ready to accept the transformer, which is sitting right here. So the power supply section more or less is done. I have all new feed-through capacitors. Some of them look kind of burned. One was completely gone. And whoever owned this before just ran a wire through with a capacitor at the plate to ground to act as a noise filter. So this has all new feed-through caps like the original Collins. Thank you again, Dave Schulman. He said, whatever you need, if we have it, you don't, and we're not using it, then you're welcome to it. So yeah, small percentages due to Dave. The tuning coils. Oops, sorry, my finger's in the way. Tuning coils. So the 20 meter, the 15 meter were burned. 20 meter was really burned, all the wires, and the 15 meter, the first couple of lines were burned. Here's the wire. The enamel's all burned off of them. They got hot. The original transformer, which is over here. I don't know if you can see the contacts or not. Let me get that out of there. I don't know if you can see them. Maybe. Burned. Nice arc. When I went to pull the relay out, I found the RG58, which I'm replacing with RG8X. The middle conductor was not soldered to the relay. It was stuck in the hole down here, but it was not soldered. Now I don't know. I'm not judging anybody. I don't know who owned this previously. Maybe he was in the process of fixing it and just decided to stop. But if that was a condition when he fired this up and it arced, it would probably explain it. Little or no connectivity to the output cable. So anyways, we had in stock another relay, a Guardian. The original is a Potter Brumfield. So this has a little better connector board. I didn't like the wires on it for the wipers. Really thin wire, and I noticed that on the PNB also. The PNB's got let's see here. Yeah, these. Does that look like the kind of wire you'd want to carry 800 watts or more? Probably not. So I took some of the enamel wire and I soldered it like that. So it's somewhat insulated. It's a lot beefier. It also has a little more. It's pushing back a little more on these contacts, so it's making a little better security to ensure that the contacts return to their fail-safe condition. Of course, I've soldered the cross on here, which is the RF. So the RF normally comes in on one side, the center wiper goes to the top. So that's the in, that'll be the inside. The outside goes over here, goes across to this contact, down to the wiper, which will go out to the out cable. And then of course your amp in to the band switching circuit, and the amp out of the tank circuit goes there. And so anyways, that's a little better setup, a little more confidence. The bus wires. Have you ever seen a Collins with the bus wires? they put the bus wires in for the filaments. Well, they are not insulated. So I started taking them apart and putting insulation on. And then I got to thinking, I thought, well, why am I doing that? I got enamel bus wire right here. So I'm going to use the enamel wire and redo the filament wiring. I got new resistors for the grid resistors. I'm going to replace all those. Apparently, when this thing, I'm assuming it blew. When it blew, I think it took out the grid resistors as well. So you probably had a flash over from plate to grid or plate to filament. Kind of chopped and put them in, soldered them in with existing old resistor leads and the new resistors, and I'm just I got new non-inductive metal film resistors that are going to go into place. They're 3 watts. This is about 2 watts. Oops, that's about 2 watts. That's about 1 watt. These new ones will be 3 watts and they're a little smaller. And those will be all insulated on the legs. You can see this one here actually goes through between terminals uninsulated. Not a bright idea. So safety, I've been zapped enough times. I don't really want to go through that again. It shouldn't once it's all bolted together, but until then, I want to be safe. The leads over here are uninsulated. I'm going to put heat shrink on those at least and get this all bussed in. And when that's all bussed in, the relay's back in, modifying the rear panel. There's going to be 2 PL259s, one in, one out. Right now they're using RCAs, and then I'm using a DIN plug. Let's see if I have it close by here. Thought I did. Oh, there we go. It's the jack and the plug. So that's going to go in. That's going to be the ALC and the relay control, the transmit relay control. Turn it on and off. Once that's done, it'll be ready to start going back together. And then I will mate the chassis parts together, and I will get the tank circuit moved back in and start putting all that. And sometime this winter, maybe the next month or two, I will have the Collins S30. Sorry, I keep thinking I get too many radios going through the auction place right now. I kept thinking of an SB220. The 30L1 Collins will be back together, the first one. And once that's together, I will start doing power checks and bringing it up and see what she can do. So that's the current update. The beam is put to sleep for the winter, hibernating. I'm back on the Collins inside the house where it's nice and warm, and we will progress with the Collins. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. As always, I don't make any money off of my videos because I just do it for information. But you know, please like and share to people. I like to tinker. I like to work on things, and this is one of them. So I'm excited to see how it turns out now. We'll talk to you later. 73.